Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Am I going to say it? Yeah, I'm going to say it. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Yes, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, that I have, that we all have. And what is that choice about? It's about how we're going to think. Remember, that's the only thing you have control over. You don't have control over anything else. You can't make yourself do something. You don't have control over what somebody says, what somebody does. You only have control over how you're thinking. And the sooner you grab onto that power and use it, the sooner you're in control of your life. And that is amazing when you dive into using that power, that wonderful hidden power, as what Thomas Troward so eloquently talks about in many of his essays. Now, here again is application. See, it's one thing to know about that. It's a totally different thing to actually do it, to engage with it in your life. And that's what we're inviting you to do for you in your life, to shift how you're thinking, to eliminate the lie of self-sabotage, the lie that you are your own worst enemy, that you're in the way, that you got to get out of your own way. All of that's a bunch of BS. And when I say BS, I'm talking belief system and bullshit too, by the way. But see, that's something that we invite you to engage with as well. And when you do, your results change. Why? Because as within, so without. Type that in the comments. As within, so without. You can't type that enough. You know, we put that on our beautiful sweaters. On one sleeve, it says as within. On the other sleeve, it says as without. And that is a beautiful principle that, if engaged with, if used, will deliver whatever outcome you seek in your life. See, though, this is where you have to do the work. With that being said, you know, it can deliver this result that you've written down on your goal card. If you don't have a goal card, make sure you get one. If you need goal cards, reach out to us. We'll share with you how to get them. This goal card is important if you have made it important. Now, what does that mean? That means we don't manifest what we write down on a goal card. We don't manifest what we put on a vision board. We don't even manifest affirmations. What we manifest is how we feel about them. Sit in that one for a moment. How do you feel about your goals? How do you feel about what you would love to happen in your life? Well, that's what's going to determine whether or not it shows up. And where that starts again is in how you're thinking. Amazing. All right, so what have we been studying here in these beautiful calls? Well, we've been studying this beautiful gem here, The Science of Getting Rich. Make sure you have a copy of this. If you don't have a copy of it, get a copy of it for yourself. And then when you do have it, highlight it, underline it, yes, even memorize it. But most importantly, what? Use it. Application, baby. That's where it's at. You must apply it in your life in order for it to serve you in your life. Okay, so you ready? Ready to dive into this? But before we do that, I want to give a beautiful congratulations, though, to Lisa Axford, who stepped into the realm of being an Elevitality mentor. Wow, congratulations, Lisa. That's such a beautiful thing that you have done, stepping into what's been calling out to you. And that is a big, beautiful step that is going to serve a lot of people. So many people are literally waiting for you, and now they're going to see you and you're going to be able to help them beautifully. So again, congratulations. All right, now let's go into this, shall we? Let's go into where we left off in this beautiful gem, The Science of Getting Rich. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom. There we go. Now, the page that we are on is page 95. And we touched on this paragraph before, and we're going to touch on it again, okay? Because it's important for you to get that when you do something, it sets things in motion, and you may not see it. And matter of fact, a lot of times you don't see it because of it not being visible within, you know, your realm. But the point is that it does cause things to happen when you do things. So what does he say here? He says, you cannot foresee the results of even the most trivial act. You do not know the workings of all the forces that have been set moving in your behalf. Much may be depending on your doing some simple act. Now, let's pause with that a moment. Okay. Some simple act. It could be something as simple as making a phone call, something as simple as writing an email, something as simple as turning right when you're driving because you have this impulse to do so. So again, much may be depending on you're doing some simple act. It may be the very thing which is to open the door of opportunity to very great possibilities. Now, you can never know all the combinations which supreme intelligence is in making for you in the world of things and of human affairs. Your neglect or failure to do some small thing may cause a long delay in getting what you want. Now, let's go over more simple things that have to do with the trajectory of your life and what you're led to and what's led to you. It could be something as simple as writing a paragraph. Again, there's lots of things that are there, all of which have some kind of impact in your life. Now, here is where your intuition comes into play. Remember, you have six higher mental faculties: imagination, perception, reason, will, memory, intuition, all of which are beautifully embedded within the program Emergence that we built. And when we put those lessons into play, they stand on their own with their own lesson. But with that being said, intuition is where you will get those ideas. With that being said, you receive them solely based from the frequency that you're on. So in other words, the quality of the ideas that come to you in spirit, see, inspired, come to you dependent on the quality of the frequency that you're on. With that being said, listening to those ideas, those little impulses that come to you, and strengthen your ability to actually hear them and then act upon them will make a big difference in your life. See, this is where you need to override the paradigms whenever they're there. So, with that being said, he goes further. He says, do every day all that can be done that day. Do every day all that can be done that day. And notice how all is capitalized. Do all that you can do. Don't worry about yesterday. Remember, he talked about that before in a previous paragraph, in a previous chapter. Don't be concerned about whether yesterday's work was done well or whether you can do tomorrow's work today. Don't bother with any of that stuff. Just do every day all that can be done that day, all that you can do right now. Now, there is, however, a limitation or qualification of the above that you must take into account. Now, you are not to overwork nor rush blindly into your business in the effort to do the greatest possible number of things in the shortest possible time. Don't do that. Bad idea. You're going to burn out if you do that. Don't do that. Just do all that you can do today, trusting that you'll get what you need to get done today. Now, I used to be in this place right here, getting overworked, trying to do as many things as possible in the shortest possible time. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't work towards being efficient. You should. But what you don't want to do is stretch yourself thin. Okay. You are not to try to do tomorrow's work today, nor to do a week's work in a day. Now, again, though, that doesn't mean you don't work towards being efficient to try and figure out ways to do more things in a shorter period of time. And by the way you do that is not by you doing them yourself. It's by getting other sources to help you to do that. So again, let's sit in this for a moment. How many of you have fallen into that trap where you're rushly blinding into trying to do everything and then you get burned out? Well, stop doing that. Again, you are not to try to do tomorrow's work today, nor to do a week's work in a day. it is really not the number of things you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. Now put a big box around this, okay? This is important. This reminds me of something I heard that Bob Proctor shared of what Earl Nightingale shared with him. One of the things that Bob Proctor was looking at when it came to Earl Nightingale was how much he got done, how he got a lot done in a short period of time, and how he didn't seem to be stressed about things. And he asked him, well, how is it that you do this? How do you get so much done? And keep in mind, again, the things that he was seeing was pictures with him with royalty and noticing all these accomplishments. And again, he asked this question, how do you get these things done? Now, I'm going to share with you what he said. But before we do that, for those of you who are watching this live stream and would love to tap into this and watch the remainder of these calls and to watch the replays, then do yourself a favor and go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You'll thank yourself later. All right, so now let's go back to what Earl